Almost exactly 2 years ago, Brompton released the B75. It's called the B75 for the year that Brompton started, 1975. Anyway, the video was made in a bit of a hurry because someone was coming to collect the bicycle. Then when we went to make the video, we had rubbish sound, and we didn't have an opportunity to remake it. And Bromptons have been in a really short supply, so here we are 2 years later, and we have a B75 and another bicycle from 2021 that we're going to compare it to. In case you have your B75 shipped to you, we're starting this video with the unboxing and assembly, and then we're going to move on to a comparison with a standard Brompton. So if you're interested in one bit or the other, we put the timestamps in the description of the video. First of all, we're going to take it out of the box. Little knife. It's always exciting unboxing a bicycle. Hello! What do we have in here? We have an instruction manual, a hinge clamp plate assembly, and a saddle. I'm just going to pop them to one side. It does say the bike needs to be inspected by a qualified mechanic. Inside here is our saddle hay insert. We need him later. Just get the box out of the way and pop the bicycle inside. And here is your B75. We're just going to take the packaging off. We're going to take the plastic bag off of the handlebars. It's attached to the clamp, so we're just going to slightly undo that. Then we're going to release the handlebars and get rid of the bag. Then get our hinge clamp plate assembly, which has already been greased. So we're just going to screw the hinge clamp into the stem. Just remember, if you order your bicycle by mail order and it gets delivered to you, you'll have to do this. And now we're just going to pop it into its folded position. The first thing we're going to put on is the saddle. Don't need the packaging. To fix this to your bicycle, you'll need to undo the seat post clamp, which requires a 13mm spanner. So we're just going to loosen it so that it's loose to pop onto the bike, and then we'll put it on the seat post. I'm just going to adjust the saddle so that it's in the middle of the saddle rails. You need to make sure the clamp doesn't exceed the front line or the rear line on the saddle rails. And now I'm going to tighten up the clamp. I'll do the other side as well. Using our 13mm spanner, the seat clamp should be done up to 15 Newton meters. You will find the pedal together with the instruction manual, kind of hiding. So I'm just going to open it up and take the pedal out. As you can see, there is no Allen key hole, so it needs to be installed with a pedal wrench. It does, however, say it is a left pedal on it. It is for the left. Next, we're going to unfold the bicycle so that we can put the pedal on. You shouldn't fit the pedal whilst the bicycle is folded, because the pressure that you need to put the pedal on could damage the rear triangle of the bicycle. Now we're going to pop the pedal on. You'll notice that the crank has already been greased by Brompton, so we're not going to have to grease the pedal. But if they hadn't already been greased, you'd need to grease them. Because it's a left-handed pedal, it does up the wrong way. So we're just going to fit the pedal into the crank, and then we're going to pedal backwards. To get the pedal into the crank. And then we're going to do it up using a 15mm spanner. It's really important to get your pedals done up properly. For maximum power, we want to about this angle. I'm going to put the spanner on, and then I'm going to hold the opposing pedal, and I'm going to put my weight down. So it's tight. Your pedals really should be done up tight, to 30 Newton meters, using your torque wrench. So now we're going to compare our B75 to a standard 2021 Brompton. For this, we've chosen a Cloud Blue M-type, which is 6-speed, so it won't clash with the colour of the B75. We're going to start at the front and work our way to the back. Starting with the handlebar grips. The B75 has these push-on grips that are 100mm long, in comparison to a standard Brompton that has 130mm lock-on handlebar grips. The advantage of the 130mm lock-on handlebar grips is that they're relatively standard, so you can find alternatives quite easily. The 100mm grips used on the B75 are much more difficult to find. We know of the Brooks slender grips and the Ergon GP1 100mm handlebar grips that fit on the B75. The reason it uses 100mm grips is because it uses the older style M-type bars, which are high-rise, and this bend here means there's not so much space, so you need a shorter handlebar grip. In comparison to the newer style Brompton that has the low-rise handlebars, like this, they were introduced in 2017. The B75 uses the older style brakes, part plastic, part metal, so they can flex slightly as you pull them. In comparison to the newer style Brompton that has the newer integrated brakes and gear levers that are all metal, so they don't flex when you brake. The B75 uses the older style gear trigger. This is the hub gear trigger. The 2-speed derailleur gear trigger isn't here because it's no longer available, and this is a 3-speed bike. The standard Brompton uses the integrated brake and gear shifters that also have the integrated bell. The B75 has a separate bell. We haven't fitted it yet. The stem on the B75 is shorter than on the standard Brompton because of the high-rise handlebars that it has. This is why you can't just change your handlebars over. The reason that the high-rise was changed to the low-rise handlebars was to reduce the flex when you pull against your handlebars. The added benefit as well is it adds more space for the controls on the cockpit of your bicycle. The standard Brompton comes fitted with a front carrier block, so you can put your luggage on the front of your bicycle. There is a place to install a front carrier block on your B75, but it doesn't come as standard. Our next difference is brakes. The B75 comes with the Mark III brakes in black. The standard Brompton comes with the Mark IV brakes, also in black. These are the same brakes as used on the Brompton Electric. Both bicycles come with a standard front wheel. However, they do have different tyres. The B75 has a marathon racer, but it doesn't have the reflective stripe on the edge, like the standard Brompton. Due to the lack of reflective sidewall, the B75 comes with reflectors to install on your wheel. Another difference when you configure your standard Brompton, you can choose from 3 different tyre types: the Kojak, the Marathon and the Marathon Racer. Obviously it depends on availability. Next up, mudguards. When you configure your standard Brompton, you can choose from an L version with mudguards, E without, or R with a rack on the back of your bicycle. The B75 comes without mudguards. It does have a nice little fender disc here to stop your cable interfering with your wheel when you turn. The B75 comes in one colour, water blue. 2021, the standard Brompton comes in 7 optional colours. Cloud Blue, black, black lacquer, orange, house red, tempest blue or racing green. Yes! And you can mix and match the extremities and the main frame. So, for example, you could have a cloud blue main frame and orange extremities. Interesting. Next up, the B75 has a special decal, as opposed to the standard Brompton that doesn't have a decal there. The B75 comes with plastic pedals. They are both not folding. The standard Brompton comes with a folding left pedal with the Brompton logo on it and an aluminium right pedal. It doesn't fold. The B75 comes with what would be called reduced gearing, minus 12%. It has a 44 tooth front chainring, in comparison to a standard Brompton that comes with a 50 tooth chainring as standard. You can of course change this when you configure your Brompton to be 44, 50 or 54. The next difference is the suspension block that on the B75 is white in comparison to the standard Brompton that's black. The B75 comes as standard with an extended seat post, which is 6 centimetres longer than a standard seat post, in comparison to the standard Brompton that comes with an option of a standard, extended or at extra cost telescopic seat post. Because of the extended seat post, it doesn't fold quite as compactly. So when you're travelling, for example, and putting it in a case, it's not as compact to put in the case, so you may need to take your saddle off, which isn't quite as easy without a Brompton pentaclip. On the B75, the saddle is connected to the seat post using a standard saddle clamp, like this one. While on the standard Brompton, they use a pentaclip. This is a black one because, due to the pandemic, Brompton had run out of silver. It is possible to put a pentaclip onto your B75 to give you more adjustment in your saddle position. Next we come to the rear triangle. There seems to be something missing. There's the connection points for the pump, but there isn't a pump included with your bicycle, in comparison to a standard bicycle that comes with the pump included. The roller wheels are the same on the B75 and on the standard Brompton. Should you wish to change them, they can both easily be upgraded to easy wheels. The B75 comes with the Brompton standard ratio 3-speed hub, which means you cannot add 2 extra sprockets to make it a 6-speed. It's not possible. The wheel won't let you. You would need to replace the wheel and lots of other things. The standard Brompton comes with a choice of 2, 3 or 6 speeds. The single speed was discontinued in 2021. The B75 comes with the non-derailleur chain tensioner because it only has a single sprocket. The chain tensioner on the standard Brompton will depend on the gearing configuration. This is derailleur version because it's a 6-speed. The main frame, rear triangle and forks of the B75 are the same as the standard Brompton. The B75 saddle comes with the saddle loops. It also has a connection point for a cat's eye light on the rear of the saddle, just like the standard Brompton saddle. In 2021, you have a choice of 3 saddles on your standard Brompton: a C17 like this one, a Brooks B17 or a wide Brompton saddle. That's because due to the pandemic, the standard Brompton saddle has been in massively short supply. We have an old one. So in summary, the B75 uses some cost-effective components to keep the price break lower, so that it's a more accessible Brompton to get you hooked. And then you'll realise that you can't just have one Brompton in your life, you need many. They need friends. If you like this video comparing the B75 with a standard Brompton for the second time, we'd really like it if you gave us a big thumbs up. Was our second attempt of the video better than the first one? We'd really like it if you let us know. But have we missed anything else? If you liked our video, we'd really like it if you subscribe to our channel. The B75 comes in one colour. This colour, water blue. In 2021, the standard Brompton comes in 7 colours. They are Cloud Blue, Black, Black Lacquer, Orange, House Red, Turkish Green, Racing Green. I'm hoping they've got them. Is that all the 7? You need to make sure the clip, this is a clamp, you need to make sure the clamp is in the middle. No, you don't. However, I'm not convinced about putting a pedal on that. As standard, from 2021, the standard Brompton comes fitted with a front carrier block. This is brilliant. You can load the front luggage. The B75 comes in one colour, Cloud Blue, water blue. The B75, the standard. So a quick summary. The B75 uses lower level